see you. That's good. Hey Omar, how you doing, brother? Happy Labor Day. That's funny. I get a little live coming soon, and an actual regular live. I don't know how that works. A little live coming soon, and all right, we'll take care of that. Yeah, just added it on top of my other flag. We the people. Man, I still wish that I can flip my video. It's still going to be backwards. I don't know. Maybe you can watch it with a mirror, and then it'll be straight. All right, time for the music to go down. Okay. How's your day so far, Omar? Doing good? Hey Larry, how you doing? No, I don't have an Israel flag, my friend. I'm not Jew, so I don't have an Israel flag. I only have the American flag and the Honduran flag because I am from Honduras as well. That's the only difference. If I was from Israel, I would have a flag. That's why I don't have the Mexican flag either, because I'm not from Mexico. But who knows? Maybe one day I'll get one. Yep. Happy Labor Day, MAGA. We'll see if we get a good chat going on today. It's crazy. I woke up this morning and I was watching a live feed. I don't know if it was really a live feed, but the Mexican president, you guys know I've been trying to keep an eye on that thing. And the Mexican president is over there trying to give an update on the accomplishments of what's happening in Mexico. And I find it very interesting that they talk so bad about us Americans. But I have some information that will blow your mind about it. Maybe it won't. Maybe you guys already know about this. Noise like Israel. Much love to Israel. Amen. You don't look good with the cap on. You don't look awake. Yeah, try something different. You guys want me to get my MAGA hat on? Noise, you like the Mexican president? You guys the hat off or the hat on? What do you guys like? I'll let you guys choose. Omar, the hairline. I am holding on to this hair for dear life. Just so you guys know, hat on, says Tiata. So, all of my uncles on my family side have been bald. All right, so there's no hair up here. I have a lot of hair compared to what they had. So, you guys want the MAGA hat on? I'll see if I get five hat on, I'll put it on. All right. In the meantime, I'm going to make you guys suffer by looking at my hairline. He says you got good hair. All right, cool. I'm not a youngster anymore. I know. I wish I was one of those old guys that has a really thick, good hairline. But we'll wait a little bit. I get 5 hat-ons, I'll put it on. All right. Lawrence Bailey, hat on. If it wasn't a choice for you guys, you'll probably tell me to get a mask on as well. But that is not on the table. Let's see. No, don't need that one, sweetheart. Thank you. Hey, man, you can't deny who we are. You got to love yourself, no matter what. Remember that. I will put my hat on. Don't worry. If you get the hat on, you're going to automatically get support for 80% of the country. So that's a good thing. Amen to that. The black one? I got the white one over here. Black or white? Black. All right, the wife said the black one. So if you guys wanted the white one, sorry. It's going to have to be the Chinese version of Make America Great Again. Waiting for the next paycheck so I can get the red one on. I know a lot of people like the red one. All right, thanks for the compliments on the hair that I do have left over. I appreciate you guys. I woke up this morning to the Mexican president. Now, I got a little conflict of, I don't know, mixed emotions about her. On one side, I like her. On the other side, I don't like her. So there's a couple of things that people don't realize, and I mean, you know, even in this chat, right? We'll get some Mexicans that come in here, and a lot of Hispanics, Latinos that have been through a bad government know what a good government is and what this country could be in the future. So we have a lot of Latinos supporting Donald Trump right now, a lot of Democrats supporting Republicans, not because they're being Republicans, but that because they are being Americans that are tired of the suffering under the fake Democrat politicians that we have today. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them. And that is the whole point, right, of us coming together. These politicians, they talk about, oh, let's come together. Let's not be divided. But let's be honest. They're not like us. We want to be united. We want to stand as American people. I don't have a Joe Biden hat. I don't think I will ever put one on just because I didn't like what the administration did in the last 4 years. They broke our border. They gave billions of dollars away to get a war going, gave billions of dollars to terrorist organizations. I don't appreciate that. Iran making war because we gave them billions of dollars to do it with. And, you know, we just don't like that. You know, we know Obama gave money to ISIS. We got rid of ISIS. I mean, it's the whole, you know, crazy thing going on, right? But this morning, I woke up listening to the Mexican president. And, you know, everything that she says, it's good news. You know, they're building bridges and they're building roads. But there is something that was bugging me. And I'm like, why does that bug me? Like something is going on, right? I said, what's bugging me? And then I started thinking about it. And then she's building bridges on certain states of Mexico, building roads on certain states of Mexico. And it sounds like a great thing, right? And they're building like a lot of hospitals, in different towns. That's great news, right? And there is billions, hundreds of thousands of pesos that they're investing to get this going. And then I started realizing, you know what? Maybe I was wrong about her. Maybe she is trying to do something for Mexico. And then I realized that the areas where she's building better bridges and roads is where the cartel works on. I said, wait, that's got to be a coincidence. And I'm taking a look at the locations where supposedly the cartels are. That is where she's building these bridges and roads. And I'm thinking, man, there's just not something that I can trust from this lady's mouth. And then I hear on the background somebody complaining about, you know, stop you protecting the cartels. You know, it's like, what? See, it's not just me. All right, there's Mexicans fighting this government over there as well. We just don't hear it over here because the media suppresses that. But you will see a lot of you know, YouTubers, you know, what do you call them, influencers out there. They will show some videos about it. You know, and that's crazy that the legacy media doesn't support that. I was in the live chat and I saw a lot of comments, right? Mostly females. They love Claudia Sheinbaum, the best president in the world, blah, blah, blah. All this stuff. Okay, that's great and everything. And then I'm watching the comments and there's other Mexicans in there like, oh, lying ass, blah, blah, blah. You know, she's doing this wrong. You know, ask what happened in this town. Ask what happened in this city. Ask what happened to the politician such and such. They are not stupid. And they kept flooding the chat, right, with compliments to the president. No questions, just compliments, compliments. The best president, hearts, flags, Mexico, I love Mexico, love Mexico. But the thing that I'm reading for other Mexicans that are chatting in there, because it's like thousands, hundreds of thousands of chats going through, I'm reading these comments and I'm just like, whoa, what are they saying? And I started trying to catch some of these. I pause some of them, I read this, and they are talking about how she's been lying, how she got rid of so many people in order for her to be in office. And I'm like, I just talked about this not too long ago. And it's like, wait, is that really, really what's happening over there? And it's scary, guys. It's really scary. And then I hear that they are giving support, what do you call it? Like some sort of amnesty to Maduro, the corrupted politician from Venezuela. You guys have heard about that, right? Thank you, Brian. I see you comment. Appreciate it. Jonathan says he's embarrassed. Not sure why. One commandment is honor the mother and father. Yes, that is a commandment. Gil Hernandez says, not you again. This guy loves me so much. He keeps popping in here to give me some love. Thank you for your chat, man. Bible should be free. Jesus didn't make people pay to be taught or to heal. Rando, that is true, and I wish that it was free. But Jesus also said every laborer is worthy of pay. So you got to pay for the labor, my friend. You know, Bibles don't get done by themselves. They get made by labor. And thus, you got to pay for it. All right? Do your part. Support the cause if you're going to talk about the Bible, please. If you're going to make comments about the Bible, please know what you're talking about, because I will tell you what's going on with the Bible. Many already know me, and I guess a lot of people don't challenge me on scriptures anymore, but nonetheless, you are more than welcome to go ahead and try. She's not doing anything for the Mexican people, says Samsung. And you know what? I feel bad, guys, because I have heard the right side of Mexicans. They are with us. They fight for the same freedom, for the same things that we fight for. And it's crazy because they just get drowned out with the noise. All you hear is President Sheinbaum, right? President Sheinbaum. Oh, how perfect, how beautiful, how wonderful, best president. Boom, 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 17 killed. Oh, President Sheinbaum, how beautiful, how perfect. Boom, 17 killed. Boom, oh, President Claudia Sheinbaum, so perfect, so beautiful. You never hear all these killings, all these murders that are happening. And instead, you hear 70% crime down, 70% here, 60% there, 50% crime is down here. And then you hear the people when they come up to the mic. I don't know where you got these stats from, because we just lost 18 people in our city that you just mentioned. The crime went down 70%. And I'm listening, I'm like, okay, what else do I need to do to let people in America know that what I'm saying is true? Like, if you guys don't speak Spanish, I'm sorry. But if you speak Spanish and you listen to these live press questions and all this stuff that the people come in and say all this stuff, if you speak Spanish and you sit here telling me all these things that are wrong or are fake, you are guilty of what they're doing evil over there. With that being said, there is a lot of great things that they're doing in Mexico, right? They're building bridges, they're building hospitals, they're doing a lot of great things for the people, the things that the people want, right? They are canceling a lot of house debts that have been paid 2-3 times over because of the interest. I like that. But here's the thing. She doesn't say, where does this money come from? How do we have a budget and where does this money come from? Okay? Most of the money from Mexico comes from the United States of America. One of the biggest money makers for the Mexican economy, it's automotive and I believe electronics. That is something that we can get from somebody else. If the United States says, you know what, no more cars assembled in Mexico. We are not going to use Mexico for automobiles anymore. Maybe Canada, right? Maybe Canada gets a break, or our tariffs, which are working for us to bring manufacturers back, within a couple of years, we are going to be assembling all of our vehicles made in America. Mark my words. As long as the stupid judges don't keep conforming to the Democratic side and their demands, we will come on top. We have seen what the bad decision from the courts have done to the American people because they have stopped President Donald Trump from making deals. We have Putin in the bag. We had India on the spot. They were done. They were stopped, and they were complying with us. And what did they hear? The judge says all these tariffs that Donald Trump is doing is unconstitutional and is illegal. It isn't, and it's going to be fought. But my point is, these tyrants that govern in other countries, they know that Trump only has 3.5 years left. And they just think for themselves, if we can just hold out for 3.5 more years, the next moron that comes into office will be able to do what we want with them. Now, I pray that J.D. Vance is the next one, and he's going to be just like Trump. He's going to fight for the people. He's going to protect our military, that protect the people in the United States of America, and he's going to continue to deport illegal immigrants out of this country. I hope that there is an immigration reform, but not for the people that have come to this country in the last 5 years. Those people do not qualify. They got to go. All 19 million of them. The rest of the Hispanics that have been waiting for years, sometimes decades, that have no criminal activity, they have a good record, they deserve to get papers before anybody else. That's where I'm at with that. That's what I stick with, and that's what I believe. So God bless the United States of America. With that being said, the other part that the president of Mexico doesn't say is about anywhere from 13 to 46 billion dollars. We're not talking pesos. Pesos ain't jack. Dollars is what counts. Mexican government is standing pretty right now, and they're talking all this crap because they can get away with it. See, there's a lot of leftists, not just in Mexico, not just in the United States of America, not just in Canada, but every single country has a leftist group that agrees for the same type of tyrannical ideas that allow crime to go free and unpunished. And the law-abiding citizens, they have to pay the price. Business owners, they got to pay the price. And that's how they work. Left is left everywhere. It's not just here. So I am telling you this because these countries think they are the shit right now. But if we stop working with them, they will go down, period. And I can tell you that the right wing in Mexico, that is the real good Mexican people. I'm not saying they're perfect. We will all make mistakes. We're gonna overstep or understep. I get that. But the right wing from Mexico is the right Mexican mentality. Throughout history, we have seen what happens to countries that are being ran like Mexican governments have run their country. Debt left to right. People are unhappy. People are being oppressed. They are not able to get ahead in life. I said it last night. This is why they lost a lot of territory to the United States of America, because of bad government. And a lot of blind Mexican people that follow them, that are leftists, they don't see that. It's like they're okay with political assassinations going on during their political campaign, and they don't think anything about it. It's like their life doesn't mean anything. And, you know, they don't question the next person that takes that seat. You know, like imagine if we had a country here. Imagine what would happen if we go and we say, okay, we are just going to have Republicans, guys. Here we go. Boom. We're going to take out the governor from blah, blah, blah. All blue cities. We take out all the governments. We're going to kill them all, right? And then nobody says anything about it. And before you know it, all the Republicans win. Or vice versa. All the Democrats win, and then this political assassinations, nobody cared about. Nobody says anything, right? And then the people get scared, and then they comply. That's exactly what's happening in Mexico right now. And I feel so bad that so many Mexicans are suffering from that. But not only that, the Mexican government depends on automotive and electronics being given to the United States of America. This is just the United States of America. Not only that, they get $64.1 billion in remittances, meaning from Mexicans that live here, legal or illegal. They get $64.1 billion. And then they get in about $40 billion with automotive and electronics. And then they get another $40 billion from the cartel. I mean, they are making over $1 trillion in the government too. Of course, they can work on their infrastructure. But what happens if we stop that? If we say, you know what, you guys are supporting Venezuela, no more deals with you. All the Mexicans that are here, we're going to block the ability to send money to Mexico. Nobody can send money through Western Union, no FedMex, no Amex, nothing. Nobody can send money to Mexico. What would happen? The Mexicans, even the illegals that are in this country, they will have to use their money for this country. And the economy in this country would be a lot better. So I will say to the Mexican president and all those Mexicans that want or they think that they are the shit right now because the United States is giving them billions and billions of dollars for free. Think about that. Think about that twice. You come in here and you start insulting Americans and Latinos that stand up for this country, but you support the criminality that's happening in your own native country. How does that work? I know the government doesn't think about this kind of stuff right now. They're busy with stopping wars and making deals and all this stuff over there. But I'm telling you right now, Mexico's economy will crash so fast that you're going to wish that you respected the United States of America and appreciated the business that we gave Mexican country. The Mexican government depends almost 100% on the United States of America, just by the numbers that I've given you so far. Now, some people say, well, if people didn't do drugs in the United States, well, the cartel wouldn't sell drugs in America. That's a stupid thing to say, but nonetheless, they are right, okay? So Mexico gets billions from the cartel, they get billions from remittances, they get billions from our automotive industry, electronics that we buy, etc. They are making over $1 trillion yearly. And nobody says anything about it. But imagine if it was us. What if we were making over $1 trillion yearly? We have 37 trillion deficit. Wouldn't that be a wonderful thing? Bringing America back to its greatness days, to the glorious days, to where America actually has positive numbers instead of having a deficit? I think so. So we have been very, very, very patient and tolerant with everything that's going on around us. We are going to agree that the right side have been a lot quieter than the left side. Soros knows that he can get away with paying fake protesters out there, and he can make a lot of noise on the street. The Republicans don't do that, but hey, we're just putting up with it right now. But mark my words, we are no cowards. We will explode if we have to explode. The Civil War didn't happen for nothing. The North, which believe on the best interest for the United States of America and its people, even though they were outnumbered in many cases, they hung on to God's word and they fought for freedom and righteousness and they won. And believe me, we will win again. So you pick a side on where you want to be on. But what I'm saying is this: you better protect the United States of America. And if you're a Mexican, if you're a Honduran, if you're a Guatemalan, and I get it, and you want to send money to your country, it's all good. What I ask is just for a little bit of respect. Respect the country where you're in. Respect the people that are in this nation. I don't think that's a horrible thing to say. I believe in what I believe, and Americans have been doing so much for the world. The least the world can do is say, thank you, America. I'm going to tell you, the biggest problem that we have, they hate orange men. That's it. The hate for orange men is more than the love that you have for the people. Is that what you're telling me? Is hating one man worth destroying America? It's hating one man worth your freedoms? I saw Putin, Xi, and the Indian Prime Minister. I forget his name. They were out there, the Indian Prime Minister, holding hands like best friends with Putin, laughing and smiling and having a good time, meeting with Xi, the communist that has killed millions of Chinese people. Huh? The Russian communist. India is over there supporting them, even after Donald Trump tried to make a deal with him and stop the war that he was having with, I think it was what, Afghanistan or Pakistan? I can't remember. You know, that is the things that we get. Even I was about to say T.D. Jakes. That's a fake bishop. Even after, oh my God, even after Vance went over there with his wife and talked all these beautiful things about the Indian country and how even I was excited, be like, you know what, let's take all that crap that we have in China and bring it to India. If we're going to have a country that has billions of people that can do a lot of work for cheaper labor, then let's take it to India. But now I see him doing this. I see him doing this with Putin. And I'm just like, is there no loyalty nowadays? There's no loyalty. The United States has done so much for all these countries, and they're backstabbers. Mexico talks so much shit about us, guys. And yet, they make so many billions of dollars, hundreds of billions of dollars of the United States of America. That drives me nuts. Now they're offering Venezuela some safe haven. They're giving Venezuela safe haven. The Maduro, the one that has $50 million. You know what? Maybe the Mexican president is about to cash in. Maybe the Mexican president is smarter than I think, and maybe she's going to cash in on those $50 million. You know, I was excited about Alberta becoming part of the United States of America. I think it would be a good addition, etc. But I heard the oil is not good quality. There's a lot of refining that needs to be done with it, and I don't think that's going to be worth anything. But nonetheless, I do think that they're hardworking people. They stand on the right side of the law, and I think it'd be a great addition. So I'm still excited about Alberta, but nonetheless, Mexico also has oil. And I think that if Mexico really learn to appreciate the United States of America, there will be no better relationship in America than Mexico and the United States of America. But they need to be honest. They've been lying to you. They've been lying to us. I'm telling you, a lot of Latinos are with me because, oh, thank you. This one? The instant? Sorry guys, it's coffee time. This coffee right here, that's a real coffee. These guys don't know how to do it. This is the fake instant coffee. Not the same. What a shame. What a shame. Can you do me a favor? Can you make me the one bag? I appreciate it. Sorry guys, coffee is life, okay? I think it doesn't make me white. If you think that I'm trying to be American, I am. But that doesn't make me white, okay? I still have my heritage. I still have my Indian roots. I got my Spaniard roots. I'm not going to hate history, no matter how bad my history was. United States of America has a bad history. So does Mexico. Let's not forget that the Indians in Mexico were also decapitating their own people. We are not innocent. Nobody is. Except today, we got borders, we got countries, we got lines of what we have today. But we have to be honest. The Mexican government is so unappreciative, they don't deserve our help anymore. And I am like, seriously, I am serious about, I wish that we can block money from being sent to Mexico. Let's see how Mexico likes that. Let's stop assembling automobiles in Mexico. Let's stop buying electronics from Mexico. How about, you know what? Let's pay a little bit of tariffs and get those components from China. Even though China we don't like because they hate us, right? They're our enemies. But I'd rather go with somebody that will respect me by giving them money than somebody that's taking money from me and still disrespects me. That's just the way I think about it. And the reason why China is fighting so much, you gotta understand this. China wants to be the #1 country in trade. That is the power that they seek. Now, Donald Trump says, and I agree with him, he thinks the way I think, and that's why I support him. We don't want war. Now, Americans, a lot of times, you guys are so inconsiderate. You don't think if we go to war, that's bad. That's devastating. Loss of lives, loss of money, destruction of other countries. We don't want that. But we do want economical wars. I think that's the right word. Economic war. What does that mean? We're putting tariffs. We're using sanctions so that these people deal and learn to be fair. If they don't, I am afraid that the next option, it's not going to be a sanction or a tariff. It's going to be a couple of B-21s flying over, destroying our opponents. You guys heard of the B-2s? $2.2 billion to make these amazing, beautiful machines. And they take a lot of maintenance, a lot of money. Paint's got to be refreshed, all this other stuff. Well, now we got the B-21. And this one cost about $692 million to make. We are in order of 100 of this B-21, and they only do half the payload that the B-2s do. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you got to look it up, all right? This is the big stealth plane, the big black beast that everybody is afraid of, the one that can carry nuclear weapons. Let me tell you something. No country on this earth compares to the power of our military force of the United States of America. And I'm telling you right now, you better choose the right people that you're going to protect. If you stand with America, you stand a chance to be a champion on this world. If you stand with Mexico, with Venezuela, or any other communist countries out there, you're going to lose. As a matter of fact, to be honest, nobody wins. War is gruesome, it's catastrophic, it's ugly, it's hurtful. Nobody wants it. But if nobody wants to use diplomacy to come together, to have peace, well, you got to get peace through strength. And the United States of America has the most powerful military force on earth. We got the highest technology. You know what happens when we go against the Chinese Navy? They are nuts. They can find us. We got the advantage of them. We got Apache choppers. We got the helicopters from the Chinese trying to talk mess with us because they're carrying these missiles and stuff. By the time they look at us, one of our choppers looks like there's 20 of our choppers in the radar. They are useless. Their technology is so far behind. The American technology is 35 years ahead of theirs. This is why AI is what Donald Trump, our beautiful POTUS, is trying to invest in. And that's why Intel is investing billions of dollars back here in the United States of America. This is why Apple is coming in here to invest $600 billion of American dollars into our country. And I think because of what I've seen from the Prime Minister of India and Xi and Putin, I think India, it's out. I don't want India. I don't need India. What we want is those smart Indian people that want to love the United States of America and be part of our country. Let's bring those Indians here. We love those guys. They work hard, they're very smart, and I would love to have me some Indians on here. But the ones that want to support communism, we don't want that here. That's garbage. Man, yeah, sorry about that, guys. I went on a little rampage there. I apologize. Just, man, when I see the stuff that's going on, it's just like everything. It's like a web, you know. It has a connection here, and then it goes to the other connection, and it comes around, and it drives me crazy. ADD is not a disability. Sometimes it can be an advantage. Smart like you, huh? Biden Chips and Science Act did this. No Trump. Thank you for the two there, Mac. And it could be. It could be. You know what else Biden did? Excuse me. Sorry, guys. I'm still kind of sick. You know what else Biden did? You're going to love this. And I love Biden for this. We have the First Amendment. And people say, thank you, Doc. And people say that Biden is crazy. I don't think so. Well, lately, right? But that's not his fault. That's nature. But Biden was the one that thought like many of us patriotic Americans do. And he was talking about burning the flag. He did not like it. He did not stand for it. And he thought people should be punished for burning the American flag. I liked Biden. So there's that. So I don't hate the man. I like him. I think that, you know, people abuse his health status, his mental status, or mental decay. I don't know how you want to call it. But I think Biden would have done a better job if it wasn't because he was sick. I think. All right. Now, I'm not saying he was perfect, but I'll say a lot of things that Biden said back 20 years ago was 100%. And I agree with everything he said. And that's right. Even Hillary also said the same thing. Thank you, Ben, for the 5. What do you got here? Don't see your comment here yet. Oh, there you go. How do you feel about communist Russia attacking democratic Ukraine? So number one, thank you for the question, Ben, and thank you for the 5 pounds. I think this is what I said from the beginning, guys. I said to Ukraine, listen, if Zelensky, when Russia was trying to invade, right? Biden told them to go ahead, but just don't make a big invasion. Just do a small incision, he said. Man, that was enough for Russia to go in and attack full blast. Okay. This is what I thought. This is my opinion on how Zelensky went about it. Zelensky heard the threat that Russia was going to come in. And then Russia said, well, hey, if you don't want to agree with our terms, boom, we're coming in. Zelensky said, bring it on. Oh, I'll take you all. Ukrainians are going to beat Russia and this and that. Right now, Russia is like, what, 15 times bigger than Ukraine? And he's talking all this smack, right? And I'm just like, man, that's not diplomacy, man. I thought what he should have done should have been, listen, President Putin, we don't want war. We are a sovereign nation. We ask you to please respect that. Things have done the way they are. We don't want war. And this is what I see happening. So thank you for the question, Ben. What did Zelensky do? Goes to the United States. Oh, guys, we need money. I just told Russia that we're going to fight them, but now we need money. All right, we give them $196 billion, I think it was. And then what happens? The problem with that is Zelensky didn't go about Plan B like I just mentioned. He bullied him right back. Instead of playing the peaceful nation and then come to the rest of the world and be like, America, please, you see, we're not trying to start problems. It is Russia's fault. If they would have gone to Europe, hey, you can see how I responded. We don't want problems. They want to break the treaty. They want to do that. And then the whole world would have been like, bam, we're on Ukraine's side. But because he tried to bully a bully, now he looks like the bad person. Ramos, thank you for the 2. Trump wants to deport your pinche nopal. If you guys don't know what a nopal is, when a Mexican tells you that you are nopal, it means a cactus. And that means that you're Indian from Mexico. But I'm not Mexican, senor. We don't have nopales in Honduras. Now, you can call me an aguacate, maybe. You can call me avocado or a mango guy. But no, nopal, we don't have, well, actually, we might. I never seen one like in Mexico. Oh, this coffee, it's okay. It's not my coffee, is it? This is the fake one.
That's yours.
Oh, you didn't put enough then.
I used the half pack that you.
The half? Now you need to put the whole pack. I know. It's okay. This is how they sell it to you in Honduras, but I like coffee strong. Anywho, back to Prisco says somebody, Christian something. Ramos, thank you for the 2, brother. God bless you, man. And I agree, man. I am with you guys. Don't think that I'm against you. Let me see how to say this. I'm not against Ukraine. I am not against Mexico. As a matter of fact, there has been nothing more that I can say about Mexico of how beautiful of a country it is, how much beautiful Mexican people I have encountered. Probably more better Mexican people than Honduran people, to be honest. I apologize to my Honduran catrachos. I love you all, but it's the truth. When I was in Mexico, which unfortunately, the town that I visited, it is now a really bad town. Man, people were so hospitable. Of course, Mexicans have always been very festive. We love the Mexican culture. We love their food. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you this. I like how Latinos come in here and they come and insult Latinos, right? But when I see a vendor on the street, I go and try to buy something from them. I try to support them. I try to tell them God loves them. You know, hey, keep working hard. Do what you have to do, right? But other people can't do that. They come on this chat and they just start, saying bad stuff, right? But what they don't realize is what is actually happening in their country. In Mexico in specific, people think that they have a great president in Mexico, and yet they don't complain about that president not giving them enough jobs. Why does she got to get rid of 20 million illegal Mexicans on this side? Why do you think she allows you to do that? When there was the riots in California, she didn't say, guys, hold the peace. That's not who we are. No, she supported it. She says, we have to keep moving. What? What? Yeah, that's not what a good president does. President Donald Trump says, hey, we don't depend on nobody. We got to depend on ourselves. So for decades, other politicians have been getting rid of our jobs, our manufacturing jobs, our businesses here from America. And they, instead of being nationalists, they became a globalist organization. And now they see that they're making more dollars for themselves, and yet the people are being more broke. The middle class is disappearing. Every day we see less and less middle class, and we see more and more poor, more homeless. We see rich people getting richer and poorer getting poorer. Middle class is going to disappear in the next 5-10 years. That's just my prediction. Yeah, because of Trump. Trump hasn't been here for 30 years, moron. This has been happening for decades, I said, not the last 5 years. Man, you guys don't get it, man. Why would I go back to Honduras, Charcoal? And by the way, thanks for joining the chat. Why would I go back to Honduras? I got a job to do here in the United States of America, and that is to support my new family. I love my Honduran people. Hey, listen, one day I may just live down there, but and Americans won't hate me for it. But right now, while I'm here, I have to show my love and support for the American people. And when I am in Honduras, at some point in my elder life or whenever that happens, I am always going to be supportive of the United States of America, and I will always love it. And let me tell you why. We have a party called Liberal Party in Honduras, which does not mean the same as liberals here. It's a kind of different liberal. Liberal means that we belong on our nation first, but we also believe specifically on a friendship with the United States of America, because we recognize the value and the power that the United States of America holds. And my mother taught me this since I was a kid. She always told me, you support this party because it's the only party that cares for this country and the relationship with the United States of America. And this is why she chose to come over here to the United States of America and then bring me here. And here we are talking about Americans and their safety and their well-being and the prosperity of the United States of America. So there you go, my friend. You want to ask another question, there's your answer. So the whole go back to Honduras thing, not yet. You guys remember there was a movie. What movie was this? What movie was this? It was like some type of dark angel. And I guess like the people were like dying and the guy would just come over and be like, not yet. And he would bring him back to life. That's kind of how it is with me being an American. It's not time to go back to Honduras yet. Welcome to America, says Jose Ramirez. When we say welcome to America, we mean the United States of America. We don't mean the continent. We mean the country. Got that immigrant drug dealer bling. Never have I sold drugs, my friend. And this is cheap gold. I think it's probably not even real because it was so cheap when I bought it. Says, let's see, enthusiast, ICE-rated firefighter camps while they were fighting wildfire to question them. Oh, hey, speaking of fires, you Californians over there, if you support Gavin Newsom, sorry, Dennis, I'm a Democrat, but I love that. You are here in the United States. God bless you, brother. That's right, John. There's nothing wrong with being a Democrat if you're a patriot. I'm talking about the fake Democrats in power. You know what I'm talking about. But Gavin Newsom, he said that he's going to fight Donald Trump fire with fire. Let's be honest. He should never have said that because he let the fires destroy hundreds of houses in California. And then I just heard that he's going to make a affordable housing in these areas where all the burn went down. I wonder why a lot of people are not allowed to build back their homes. I wonder what he's planning to do with that. But hey, you know what? Let Gavin Newsom become the next president. He's done so many good things about California and for California, right? Did you guys know that they're going to hold some type of hearing or town meeting or something like that in California where they're going to allow illegal immigrants to vote in California? Did you guys know that? Now, they say that they won't vote for presidential. They're just going to vote for mayors and governors in California. Interesting, isn't it? Yeah, I bet you probably most of you didn't know that. But look it up. Look it up. Newsom will pound who? Me? Oh, man, I will eat Newsom for breakfast. That guy's too soft. Let's see. He's a liar. Who's a liar? How do we know? You are here legally. You don't, sucker. But guess what? Even if I was here illegally, I will keep doing what I'm doing right now. I would behave. I would follow the law. I don't do drugs. I don't sell drugs. I respect Americans. I love this country. I wave the American flag. I tell the United States how wonderful they are. That would be me as an illegal immigrant. Instead of waving my Mexican flag, instead of burning the American flag and saying this is Mexico land, instead of being ungrateful and using the benefits that belong to the American people, I will keep quiet. I will love this country. I will do my business as best as I can, and I will always talk good about America instead of talking trash, instead of putting them down, instead of defending the country that I ran away from. That will be the difference that I would do if I was an illegal immigrant. So if you're in here illegally, that's what I recommend you do. Shut your mouth about saying bad things about the United States of America, about Latinos for Trump, about the people that want to live in this country. Start defending it. And maybe, just maybe, you find enough favor to get a green card. Just maybe. You know, back in the days, and I get this from the Bible, back in the days, if I wanted to marry my wife, a woman, a beautiful woman, matter of fact, she wasn't even my girlfriend, I would go to the man, to the father, and be like, hey, I bought you some gold. Bought you some sheep. There's a couple of cows here. I would like to marry your daughter, that one right there, that daughter. And then, the father will look and take a look at the gifts and be like, oh, let's see. Oh, so, Oh, wow, that's a lot of treasures right there, my friend. You sure my daughter's worth that much? Yeah, I think your daughter's worth more. Yeah, and as a matter of fact, if I marry her, she's going to join me and she will also partake in my treasures. So you will also benefit from that. You know what that's called? It's not called blackmail. It's not called whatever else you want to call it. It's called gaining favor before you ask for what you want. So that's why I recommend that you speak well of the Americans, regardless if you like them or not. It doesn't matter. Speak well of the United States of America. This is your treasures. You're giving gifts to the American people in the United States of America. Protect it, honor it, and then say, I want to be an American. Can I get a green card, please? And you go and apply, and then you wait like everybody else. And eventually, they will check you out and be like, hey, you were here illegally. This your background? Yeah. This your oh, wow, you're actually pretty good. Yeah, no, yeah. I'll tell you what. We'll give you a green card, but you got to pay this fee. Done deal. But what happens? People start saying, oh, I've been a great citizen. I have been giving so much to this country. How dare you? Oh, there you go. Now you have no favor. So with that being said, you guys keep talking nonsense. But the fact is, the Mexican government has been staying alive thanks to the United States of America, period. Mexico would have been extinct if it wasn't for the United States of America. Now, on the other side of that, I'm going to tell you this. Mexicans, they don't know how rich Mexico really is. And if you guys had really good governments over there that did not accept the cartel, Mexicans would be so rich today. You guys got oil, you got fertile land, you got a lot of great places for tourism that brings billions of dollars every year. You guys have good trade, you offer good service, you have automotive service that you get from to do business with us. You guys can make so much money legally, not illegally, legally. And the Mexican pride will be even greater than has ever been in history. And then I wouldn't be talking anything about Mexico. But your government is so corrupted. I don't know, guys. I don't know if there's anything that we can do, to be honest. I honestly don't know. But I can tell you, Mexicans don't know what they have in their country. I really mean that. And I think that any investor, any businessman will tell you the same thing. I don't know. That's just my idea. That's my thought. Instead of being over here calling names, which a lot of hoodlums, Mexicans, street people like to be disrespectful and call people names. There is a lot of respectful, hardworking, educated Mexicans that know what I'm talking about, and those agree with me, and that's all that matters to me. All right, enough about Mexico. We talked about Mexico, a little bit of touch on Venezuela because Mexican president is trying to offer him asylum. There's a $50 million bounty on his head. You know what's sad? Oh my gosh, this is what's sad. Venezuela really thinks that they have a chance against the United States of America. Oh man, I feel so sorry for Venezuela. I hope that the good Venezuelan people stay away from this clown because he's going to be taken down hard. Right now he's playing it like, oh no, I'm not a drug dealer. That's a lie. He's defending himself in a way. But I'm going to tell you, the Chinese have tried to mess with us. They were embarrassed. They were confused. Their submarines didn't know where to go. They couldn't hide. We got them on radar. Their choppers, their planes, they're lost. They can't find us on radars. Now we got the B-21, which is practically invisible to radar. You can find it. It's like finding a mosquito through a flashlight at night. They cannot see it. They will never see it coming. Before they actually find it, their country's done. I'm not saying that to boast or to say that we're going to bully the world. What I'm saying is we are capable, but we just don't use it. We don't want to use it. So when we go to Venezuela, why are we there? You think, why did we send those ships to Venezuela? Well, hey, guess what? A lot of the drug deals, a lot of the drug that they send across is sent in ships. And they have already relinquished thousands, if not millions of dollars and thousands of pounds of illegal drugs coming from Venezuela right there in the ocean. So that's why we're there. Now, if they decide that they want to attack us and say, hey, you shouldn't be here, and they start attacking us, they're doomed. Period. They're doomed. And I know that there's a lot of countries down there that support us, right? Colombia is not against us. You know, Colombia and Venezuela, I think they were one country at some point. Anybody knows about that by any chance? Dennis Python says, go pick tomatoes. Nope, I didn't pick tomatoes, but I did pick strawberries, raspberries, and that was it. I did pick. I also clean toilets. Anything else that you want me to say or do? My Latino people, you guys suffer for lack of knowledge. No, yes, cold cleaning up Biden's mess. That's right, Tony. Hey, Tony, thanks for joining, brother. Sorry, I've been so busy over here talking. I forgot to say hello. Guys, I want to say hello and thank you to my subscribers that have joined the membership. I know it's just a start. It was my friends Trinity from Tennessee that is actually moderating for me sometimes when she gets on. She gave me the idea of having the membership open. So thank you for the few that subscribed. I'm sure we'll get a lot more. The whole idea is that we're going to have some private chats just amongst patriots that want to protect and defend this country. And then we can have our personal live where we can talk. I can give you guys reports from Mexico, Venezuela, all these other Latin countries, since I speak Spanish. And then we can compare some notes, and then we can try to, who knows, maybe this is one way that we can come together, right? As Americans for this country. Not as Republicans, not as the Democrats, just patriots. Oh, man, how do I put those two together, right? Let's see, MAGA boys sure do cry a lot. Nunya, you remember when Donald Trump won the first time? No! Remind me of Luke Skywalker when he found out Darth Vader was his father. No! That was the leftists, my friend. That was not Republicans. That was not the right wing. That was not patriot. That was you lunatics with the purple, green, and yellow hair. You know why? Don't forget it, because we still got videos of you guys crying about it. We had 4 years that you guys were so mad that Donald Trump won. Impeach the mofo, said Talib Rashid, right? That traitor of an American. She's not a real American. You want to tell somebody to go back to the country? Tell her. She's not a real American. She's fighting for her country in the United States Congress. That's how she works. I don't like that lady, man. I don't like Ilhan Omar either. I don't like AOC. Go back to being a bartender. She is so retarded. I don't understand why people follow her, to be honest. She is not American. As a matter of fact, even Puerto Rico don't want her. That's how much of an airhead she is. She's over there holding hands with crazy old guy saying tax the rich. Really? While you hanging out with a billionaire? Yeah, okay, let's make that happen. You know why the billionaires in the Democratic side don't care? Because they got side money. They know where the NGO money goes, and it doesn't go to the people. It goes to them. And we're not stupid. We see where the money's going. We just can't prove it because we're not in government. But guess what? One day, they will pay. They will pay for all the evil stuff that they've been doing to this country. I already know a few people are going to be in jail very, very soon. Coconut cream, says Allison. Thank you very much. How do you know I have a lot of cream inside? Man, let's see. Deport him now. Honduran happens to your flag. Honduran, what happened to your flag? Let's see. I actually got one of my hats somewhere in here with the Honduran flag. Oh, you talking about my logo? Yeah. Well, I put that picture on my. I think that's what you're talking about, right? My little profile picture there. I don't know if that's what you're talking about. Prax, why would they deport me when I'm defending the United States of America? What a moron. Like, what a really dumb thing to say. What makes you think that Americans want to deport people that love this country? They want to deport people like you that hate this country. People that don't respect the laws. That's who they want to get rid of. They don't deport Americans, by the way. Deport them to El Salvador prison. I'll tell you what, if they deport me to El Salvador, I get to go meet the president. That'd be cool. But I wouldn't go to jail because I've committed no crimes, my friend. It's the beauty of being a law-abiding citizen. Man, no one has seen Trump, he says. You must have missed the live press that he held on not too long ago. Let's see. Well, where is your Honduras flag, Catracho? Right now, this is America. There's no need to have the Honduran flag on me right now. It's all about the United States of America. When I go to Honduras, I'll wave my Honduras flag. How's that? Respect. It's called respect, not bootlicker. It's called respect, Mr. 1904. I know you're one of those mojados that come in here and just throw some crazy ideas out there, but no. Daniel Tortillo says, no, it's Russia. I don't know what that is. Kieran, oh my God. Why are you guys so racist? Being American is nothing to do with being white. Man, I tell you what, you guys are messing up my news. Oh, that's right, man. I forgot, Coben. All right, let's see. Swamp Thing says, is Trump alive? Of course he is. It's a lie, guys. See, this is another proof that there's so much gullible people out there. They threw the Russia collusion out there. Oh my God, the Russian collusion. Everybody. Now we know it's fake. Everybody swore it was real. It was fake. Let me see here. Vincent Basquiat, you a lie. Beta. You're a beta, Vincent. G1904, you a beta. God is good, Joe. That is correct. Thunder, you're beta. That's right. I forgot about Jesse Lee Peterson, man. I forgot. I'm supposed to call these betas betas. Let's see. Only the good die young. Okay, you. That was very, very close, borderline. Slightly gaming says so many gullible people. There is. Are you a birthright citizen? No, I'm a naturalized American. All my children are citizens because the mother is an American citizen and I am also an American citizen. If I was illegal, they wouldn't be Americans. Joe Berto says, I subbed. Oh, thank you, Joe. Appreciate it. Let's see if we can get to 4,000 today. I doubt it, but we'll see if we get a 4,000 today. Trump, Putin, best friends forever. Hey, guys, between you and me, when Trump says that he has a great relationship with Putin, it's not real. That's what he says so that he can, make him make a deal with him. Someone make kids with you? Mike, beta. You're a beta, Mike. Of course, man. You don't know the power of this Latin love. Not an EV says you're Mexican. Oh, man, that's kind of borderline racist, my friend. Beta. Sub double Mexican American. God bless you, my Mexican American brother. Ray Flores. Beta. Man, that's a lot of betas in here, man. Beta. Man, all these people. Kieran, you're a beta. Welcome. Thank you for the chats. Howard Rifle says, great Mr. President from Howard Rifle Sr. Don't know what that is, so you get you get a pass. But Dooney, you are beta. Amazing. People in here is so amazing. God said if you want to get in heaven, you can't have racism in your heart. I don't know. I mean, if you have racism, you gotta have some type of hate, right? So, yeah, you cannot have hate in your heart. That's for sure. El pinche Memo is a beta. Viva Mexico. Martinez Jose, yes, 100%. Viva Mexico. See, people don't get it, man. I love Mexico, man. I love my Mexican brothers. Some of them don't like me, but I loved all of them. You say you like Trump because he tells it like it is. Then he claims to be besties with Putin, and you're making excuses. Pick a struggle. Nanya, beta. You don't get it. You do not know the art of a deal. You guys, man. Don't be ashamed, Catracho. Wolfrost, beta. Thunder Loco says he's gay. Hey, good for you, brother. Nothing wrong with that. You be happy, sir. Release the Epstein files. Emmett Hubley, why did you flee? You're better. I didn't flee. I always go back to my country. I love Honduras. Matter of fact, if I can live there right now, I would, but I got a job to do here in the United States of America. I found my calling, and I'm listening, and I am answering to it. How much is Trump paying you for? Ah, man. Kaxki, you're a beta, but that's a good question. I wish I was getting paid to do this. I'll tell you that right now. Some Democrats, about 95 of them that I know of, are making over $75,000 to talk trash about Donald Trump. Did you know that, beta? Oh, man. Yeah, you sure know the rules, says Dooney. Beta, Dooney. Beta. Russia first. That's what Putin thinks, I'm sure. Mexicans are strong. Yes, they are. But there's a lot of morons that don't know how to follow the law. I'm going to tell you something. I was so proud of this one Mexican senator. Man, he looked like he was about to do some Mexican boxing. He beat like 3 guys at the Senate hearing or whatever that thing was called. Man, I was like, see, now that's a Mexican. That's a Mexican that fights for the people. The other ones are just clowns, cowards that like to call names, but they don't fight for the people. They lie to the people so that they can get their money. Those, my friend, are sellouts, not me. We're going to make so much money from China with these tariffs. And we have, sucker. You know what we were making before? Negative money. We were losing billions and billions of dollars. Now we're making billions of dollars, if you didn't know. So yes, we are making a lot of money from China. I hope that that's what you meant. So I'm going to leave you there. You don't get a beta from me. Ortega says, pinche Mexico. Come on, be nice. Mexico is a beautiful country. I'm going to say, guys, I know it sounds horrible that I say all these negative things about the Mexican government and stuff, but there's a lot of beautiful Mexican people out there. They are just suffering, and they're fighting for their country just as much as we are, okay? What I don't like is disrespectful people that come over here to the United States and just pee and shit all over the place and think that's okay. That is not okay, all right? So to all my American brothers and sisters, my new American family that has accepted me as their new brother, I want to apologize sincerely for all the ignorant Latino people that you will encounter in this country thanks to Biden's open border disaster that allowed over 21 million illegal immigrants that are not even grateful to be in this country regardless. So I apologize on behalf of those idiots, but I will also tell you that the Latinos for Trump are always going to fight for this country and for the rights of the American people. So God bless you and God bless the USA. They haven't accepted you and never will, says Luis Medina. I bet you live in Tijuana still. Talk to me when you make it across the border. I speak for all the good ones, not the bad ones. I apologize for them, but if they don't want to apologize, that's their hell, not mine. Traidor, says Isidro. Traidor, you traitor. Traitor. Isidro, you are a beta. You guys are so lovely, man. Viva Donald Trump. That's right, Papa P. Jay Ortega, man, why you mad, bro? Don't be mad, man. Be happy. We're supposed to be having a good time in here. All right. NATO says not funny. NATO has to listen to Donald Trump now, doesn't he? They do. They got to listen to Donald Trump. Otherwise, they're screwed by Russia and China. Let me tell you that. I know. You know what's crazy? This is how crazy the world that we live in today. China, the worst, probably, communist country, government in the world, has the nerves to talk bad about Israel. How does that happen? Seriously? You kill millions of people, your own people, for speaking their minds out? And you're going to come and jump in and NATO and say, Israel is evil? Shut the front door, man. That's the world that we live in, ladies and gentlemen. That is the world that we live in. You know, I'm glad that thank you, Teresa. You know, most of the people that come in here that agree with me, they happen to be over 50 years old. And that tells me that they are wise. And that's why I listen to them. You know, I can easily sit here and then just, you know, oh, guys, pause moment. You guys got me to 4,000 subscribers, man. God bless you. Thank you for the support. See, all these mojados in here in this chat that are calling us names and they're hating the United States of America, I know I got 4,000 people that support me that are Americans, real patriot Americans, since that is what I want for subscribers, real patriots. I don't care Democrats or Republicans. If you're an American, I want you on my side, and let's get together and fight for the freedom to stay with the American people. Our American citizens and residents that are here in our country deserve to get those benefits as they need them. They are not supposed to be going to illegal immigrants. And you know what? Even if we got a couple of million, I get it. But we got over 20 million of them. And that is way too many. So we cannot stand for that, guys. That's all I'm saying. So for all you mojados that are in here calling me names, I got 4,000 reasons why I believe Americans love me and have my back. And guess what? I love them back because of that love. So even if you don't believe me, we still love you. But we are hoping that you turn from your wicked ways and join us on the fight for a better tomorrow for our people so that we can help other countries around the world. Man, God bless the USA. God bless every single one of you. Gilberto, all right, man. Thanks for stopping by. God bless you, man. 4K is a village. That's right, man. I appreciate that. Daniel Tortilla. Rush, babe, how are you? Much love, sis. Washingtonian in the house. Love it. Johnny Russia, God bless you, brother. I just saw you coming up there. Chicanos for Trump, baby. See, that's my Mexican brothers right there, representing their love for the United States of America. I love it. Release the Lincoln Files. Man, I tell you what, man. I know I have always spoken and said a lot of things about the Epstein Files, guys, but I just don't think there's anything in there that we want. Honestly, I really don't. You know, we know, like on the right side, right, on the American side, we know that there's a lot of Democrat corrupted politicians on there, but we just don't care anymore. They're not going to get punished. They're not going to pay. You know what? We just want to move forward, right? Clean slate. Let's just move forward. Let's keep making America great again. Let's not forget that it was a lot better before 21 million illegal immigrants, okay? Now the excuse is, now check this out. Now they say, no, don't get rid of the illegal immigrants because who's going to do the work? Oh, the economy is going to collapse. No. The economy was doing great 3 years ago without 21 million illegal immigrants, okay? We're fine. If they go, guess what happens? Rent prices go down. Gas prices go down. All prices go down because the high demand will go away. Dang, the knowledge, that man, the wisdom that just drops down like that. When ICE is coming for this brown-skinned guy, brown, I don't know, man. If I moon you, I'll blind you. That's how white my ass is. Lightest shade of brown, my friend. Lightest shade of brown, okay? That's what I would like to be called. 3 years ago, so Biden admin was doing all right. They weren't too bad until they broke the border. What did we ask as Americans? All right, we can't stop everything. All we asked was one simple thing: close the border, secure the border, support our agents at the border. That's all we asked for. Everything else, we get it. He's not perfect. He doesn't do the deals. We get it. We asked for one thing. Two things. One thing: secure the border. And the second thing was what? Keep men out of women's bathrooms. That's it. That's all we wanted. They didn't do that. A lot of Democrats turned and said, I'm not a Republican, but I don't stand for that crap. I stand for my country. And they joined us, and I joined them as well. And together we got Trump in office. Because we said, okay, he's got a really shady past. We know. Okay, let's mention it. He's got some bankruptcy. He's got some fake accusations, 34 counts of on one thing. They made 34 things, okay? He was actually clear of all that. And then we have him cheating on his wives. Oh, man, that's sad. Yeah, it's horrible. You know what, though? Melania is there. And she can be mad at sometimes, and she cannot talk to him for a long time. Who cares? That's their personal life. At the end of the day, she knows that if she's with Trump, she can do more for the children of this country and for the children of the world. She wrote a letter to Putin, and that is proof. So whether Donald Trump was a weak man that cheated on his wife or whatnot, he is now a different man than he was 8, 10 years ago. 15, 20 years ago. You guys are bringing crap from like a couple of decades ago. Knock it off. Only the devil brings out the past that far back to make a good man look bad. And that's a fact. If you don't believe me, maybe you haven't read the Bible, maybe you're not a Christian. But if you're a Christian, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Hector, you are a beta. You're a beta male, man. Let's see. Nathan Dolokowski, he has 34 fake felonies. That's right. Made of 2 low-grade civil charges. Nathan, you're the man. Thank you, brother. Hey, and you know what? It's written, so he has better English than I have. We all grow and learn in life. That is right. That is right, Thomas. And you know what? I'm actually glad because most of my audience seems to be my age or older. And I like it. Sometimes there is some loonies. Don't get me wrong. There can be loonies on both sides, no matter what age. But for the most part, it's like a lot of common sense people are in my chat. Gotta go, hermano. Tony, love you too, brother. God bless you. Have a good rest of your Labor Day, man. I know I'm over here working on Labor Day. That's how Hispanics do it in America. Matter of fact, I think Donald Trump might be working today. I gotta go find out what he's doing today. He's probably golfing. You can still be brown-skinned and racist. I don't know how. Well, yeah, I guess. Anybody can be racist. That's the truth. But I'm not racist. You need help. You are in Egypt, says MMA Arbeta. Dark matters, the Bible is the past. Let's forget about that too. Hey, the Bible also talks about the future. We can't forget that. But nice try though, Beta. You Baldo. Oh man, how you gonna come in here? Deport me to where? Deport me where? This is my country. I am amongst my people. God bless the USA. Lion ain't working, says Trail Goat the Beta. God honors truth and rules. Amen. This guy idolizes Trump that he ends with a prayer hypocrisy. Javi, you're a beta. Omar, that's right, baby. Omar said, beta. Welcome in, little brother. Let's see. Would Jesus cut food stamps and Medicare? That's crazy that you mentioned that. Now, one of the things that I noticed that people like to do, they bring Jesus when it's convenient for them. But what do you think Jesus would do? What do you think Jesus would do? People say, oh, keep religion separate from politics. Okay. But you guys, here we are. And I told you, if you're going to bring the Bible with me, you better be good. You said, what would Jesus do? Would he cut Medicare for illegals? Okay, Papa P says that works for him. Let me tell you what the answer is. Yes, he would. What does the Bible also teach us from Jesus' gospel? What does Jesus teach you? What does he teach you? Does he teach you to break the law? No. He tells you, respect the law. Respect the law of the land. You didn't need a passport back then to go from one country to another, but those times have changed. Now the rules have changed. Now you need a passport. Now you need a permission to go into a country. Jesus left towns where he was not welcome. Follow the example of Jesus if you're going to bring him into this conversation. Jesus didn't say, go depend on Caesar's food. Go depend on Caesar's Medicare. No, because Jesus fed the people. Jesus healed the people. And that is the difference. Man, I'm telling you guys, you're going to bring something, man. You better bring it 100%. No disrespect to you, sweetheart. I understand this is what you have learned, but that's not how it works. You know, if I got deported to Mexico, I wonder how that would work. The tile art man says, don't talk about Jesus. It is my freedom. I have the freedom of speech and religion. Sucker with the United States of America. You guys want to defend the First and Second Amendment, but when it comes to somebody else's, they don't exist, do they? Yeah, okay. See, that's what I'm talking about, Americans. Don't let these fools take away your freedoms, because they will use them to try to destroy you. Why are you learning about the past? The Bible talks about the past, but you like to talk about the past. Dark Matters Project, beta. If you don't learn from the past, how you know where you should be today and how it's going to be your future? What, you're just going to keep making the same mistakes over and over and over? Or do you want to take a look at the past and say, hey, we made this mistake and look how bad it turned out. Hey, we did this right and look how wonderful it came out. And then we disobeyed and something bad happened because we disobeyed. But then we came back and we repented and we started doing better, and then prosperity came back. And then we started turning against God. That's the past. You learn. The sinful nature of man has punished us for a very long time. If you haven't learned that, that's what it is. All right, so we do have to talk about the past to learn today what we are not to do tomorrow. Miguel Salinas, I am 70. If you don't work, you don't eat. And that is correct, my friend. Just the same as every laborer is worthy of pay. That is also correct. How are you going to eat if you don't work? Do unto others as they do unto you. Jason, 100%. I would never come into this country if I was illegal. If I didn't have the right to be here, I wouldn't be here. I never asked anybody in church when I was a pastor to clean toilets for me. I clean the toilets as the pastor. So what does that mean? It means you don't know me. If I tell you to do something, it's because I'll do it myself. If I tell you to respect this country, it's because I respect this country. Beta. It's not okay to be okay with pedophiles. Yvonne, he's not a pedophile. He's never been proven. He's never been charged. Stop calling him that, because that makes you a hypocrite. It's like me calling you a pedophile. Am I right because I call you a pedophile? Am I right because I call you 1,000 times a pedophile? No. If there was a conviction, there was proof. I get it. But there is no proof. There is no conviction. Everything's been dropped, so knock it off. Yes, if you look it up, use your eyes. No, he's not convicted. You're so retarded. Oh, man. Illegal is illegal, says Pongi. They show the files. Then show the files. Devine, he's not in there. Whether you want him to be there or not is irrelevant. He's not in it, period. How many times we got to tell you guys? Democrats would have used that a long time ago if they had it. So just drop it. Beta. Oh, yeah, Yvonne, you got pictures, huh? Beta. Bradley. You know what other picture you should have? The one with Bill Clinton on that blue dress. Even that I don't believe. You're very far from the Bible, dude. Okay, Javi, thank you for enlightening me with your ignorance. Patricia, love you too. Thanks for sharing the love with the rest of the people here. What does the Old Testament say about taking care of the poor? It says to take care of the poor. What about it? That's what we're trying to do. That's why we're trying to keep America great so that we can help the homeless situation that we have. We encourage people to go to work. We don't tell them they're useless. We don't tell them that they have to depend on the government. We tell them, here's some work, do it. Whether you're going to be a janitorial, whether you're going to be an executive, it doesn't matter. There is work to do. Now, the question is, do you want to keep supporting lazy people? That is the question you should ask yourself. If they need health care and they're American, they'll get health care. Mexico is building hundreds of new hospitals. And go back to Mexico if you're from Mexico. We'll take care of our own. That is my point, guys. Take care of your own, and then we can take care of everybody else that we can. First, clean your house. Then you can help your neighbor. Feed your family. Then you can feed the neighbor's family. Brother, you're speaking the truth. Brother, it's about time you educate them bird brains. Thanks, Papa Pete. Appreciate that. What's maternity leave like in America, Dennis? Oh, Josh, it's ridiculous. Oh, shoot. So, I don't know where you're from or where you're at, but at a company where I work, the mother gets 2 months of maternity leave, and the father also gets 2 months. I think that's more than enough. Shit, they don't have that in Honduras. Over there, you have a baby, you got to get back to work. There is no maternity leave. There is not such thing. You got to go to work, and it is paid. It is paid maternity leave. Not unpaid. It's paid. This guy's Guatemala. David, you're a beta. Isidro, failed Christian, says the beta. Oh, man, I love it. I thought Mexico was paying for the wall. And actually, that's not true, but you got a point there. They've been getting away with it. And they have been selling a lot of drugs. They've been getting billions of dollars from all of us here in America, but that's going to stop very soon, my friend. What's going on, Uso? ¿Qué pasa, Mufasa?
What's the name of the lake that you guys went the last time with him?
Which lake?
The one that you and S1 with Losa, they crossed the other side.
Oh, the river?
Yeah.
Eagle Falls.
Huh?
Eagle Falls. Yeah, Eagle Falls. Yeah, the glacial water. Man, that's ice, bro.
Eagle Falls.
Eagle Falls. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a river, but it's called Eagle Falls because when it's low water, it's like the rock is really
Eagle Falls.
like a small falls. Sorry, my brother-in-law over here asking for some directions about Eagle Falls.
We're about to go right now.
Oh, yeah?
You want to go?
No, man, have a good one.
All right.
JS, here is your chance to ask me questions. You'll be putting some retarded comments on my videos. Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and pay attention to you, okay? Let's see what you got. Dennis, you can DJ. So Dennis, you can see that he's not 100% American. He's equipped with Mexican equipment. I don't know. Is that me? You know about me? Speak English in America says dark matters. That's right. You tell them. Would Jesus militarize our cities? Jesus is about to destroy the whole earth. Any other questions? Why do these people ask these questions? I don't understand. I don't understand. Jesus is going to destroy the whole earth. Not militarize the city. Destroy the whole earth. But he's going to pick his people first and take him up with him before he does that. Let's see. Got TDS. Trump, what? Deranged syndrome. I think that's what that means. America, yes, he does. And he likes to put a lot of negative comments on my videos. So I'm going to give him a chance to say something. Let's see. JS, man, so many chats, bro. You got to throw a chat in there, man, so I can catch it. I don't see your name anymore. First question, does Trump represent moral values? Forget about moral values, because you don't have any. If you think that you're going to talk to me about moral values, that means that you stand against the LGBTQ, and I'm sure you don't. So don't bring morals in this conversation. Next question. Go ahead. That's your defense. Well, bro, if you want to debate me, you better bring something that you can defend. But you already defeated yourself by asking for morals when I know you don't have any. Why would you care about morals? If I knew you care about morals, I agree with the question. But you can't ask a question that you don't believe in yourself. Meaning, you can't tell me the Bible says to do this when you don't believe in the Bible. You can't say that Jesus wouldn't do this when you don't believe in Jesus. You don't get to make that claim. You don't get to use that question. That's not how it works. Beta. All right, what else we got here? Come on, Josh, what do you got? Forget about moral value. Oh, Jesus. All right, I explained it already, I think. What makes you think I'm not Christian? God says to judge righteously, and the way that you talk, you're not Christian, my friend. Matter of fact, maybe I'm not Christian. But I do believe in God and Jesus Christ. To say you're Christian means that you walk in the same path that Christ walked. So if you claim that, you better back it up. And so far, you haven't. You like to call Donald Trump names, and that's not what Christians does, right? So I'm on the low-end Christian. I call people names if I need to. People die from lack of health care all the time. Jesus told us to heal for free. Why don't you go pray for them, Rando? If you believe that's what Jesus said, go pray for them and heal them. You cannot force anybody to do it for you. There's laws, there's regulations, there is requirements. If people don't follow those laws, regulations, and requirements, guess what? They don't get anything. But I do know that a lot of people that don't have health care benefits, the hospital still takes them in and gives them medicine, but they don't get constant treatment. That is the difference. He said you don't have principles and valuables that you live by and uphold. Like what? Respect the law, respect the American people, honor this country, and respect the country. Love and protect and defend and fight for the freedom of the people and this nation. What are we talking about here? We all fall short. That's right, Rush Babe. We all do. It doesn't matter what I think, JS. Whether you're Christian or not, it doesn't matter to me. I am not the one that's going to send you to hell or to heaven. But here on earth, I am going to live the best way that I think that I need to live. And whether you think that Trump is a pedophile, like you always say, it doesn't matter. He's getting the job done. He's going to answer to Jesus Christ in Judgment Day. That is not your job. Your job, hating him, is going to condemn you to hell. So I will say, let God and just let go. Simple. Very simple. Does Trump call people names, yet you say he's a Christian? Yeah, so what? Jesus called the rabbis and all the hypocrites in the church snakes. vipers. He didn't say, oh, you holy ones, my beautiful people. No, he called them vipers, snakes, because that's what they were. So if you're going to call somebody a shithead, that means they only got shit in their head. You can say that. Poop, shit, and mierda is the same thing. So it doesn't matter how you say it. It still has the same meaning, which means anybody can say it. I don't allow my kids to say that to adults. But I'm sure they sneak those words in there when I'm not around with their friends. They don't do that in front of me, though, that's for sure. The Chief Wild Horse, how are you, man? Live indigenous lands. Lived where and to who? Dennis thinks any means justifies the end. What do you think, Josh? You think what the corrupted communists are doing to the United States, that's the right way to be? And this is why you find it right to just hate Trump? You let the crazy communists destroy this country because you hate Trump? Let me see who's living by what. What means are you willing to go for the hate of one person? Jason says we're speaking facts over here. Some call me wannabe white. Kieran, man, bro, O'Connor, seriously, get a new line, bro. Get a new line. You don't even know what gringo means. Tell me what gringo means and I'll let you say it again. Tell me what gringo means. I bet you $100 you don't know what a gringo is. Tell me what gringo is. Hold on, guys. We're going to learn something today. Joe Berto, let him say it. What is a gringo? I bet you anything, you're wrong and you don't know what it means. Look, quick Google search. Go ahead, say it. Say it. Kasky says significa Yankee. No, it doesn't. That's right. Yeah, you had to Google that, didn't you? I know you meant white. I know that's what you're saying, but that's exactly what it means, a foreigner. You Google search my file. Beta. I knew he didn't know it. I knew it. Oh, man. Oh, you. Even Americans knew better than you, man. This guy. Let's see. Nicarito. Beta. Nothing that is fact will make sense to a person that has learned to lie. JS, man, I will eat you alive, bro. JS, I will eat you alive in a debate, dude. You don't even have good questions in here. Why would I debate you? It's useless. It is useless. All the comments that I read that you leave on my videos, it's not debatable, my friend. You don't want to debate. See, you think debating is embarrassing somebody else in public. That's not debating. You think you know knowledge enough to make somebody embarrassed in front of people. I have talked in front of hundreds of thousands of people, and I don't get nervous, my friend. I get encouraged. I get more courage than you will ever think because I speak the truth. And when you speak the truth, you are truly free, my friend, but you don't speak facts or truth. So don't ask for a debate. It's not easy to debate. It's not easy to debate. I know that. I've debated people many times, and there has been good debates, but this guy doesn't know how to debate. Your questions are ignorant questions. Let me tell you what I will ask you. I'm going to ask you a question, okay? Now, I know what I believe, but I really want to debate. I'm going to ask you a question that will say what I believe and also what you might believe or disagree with. For example, do you think it's okay for a foreigner to come to this country, use benefits that don't belong to them, belongs to the American people, and ask them to respect our country? That's a question that I will ask. And you're going to try to make up some answer to excuse the question and be like, well, Jesus said that we are to. No, that's exactly where you're going to go, and you lost already. Pat Jager, thank you. And I believe that. So the question would be on a debate, okay? I wouldn't ask you a dumb question. I would ask you a question that I already know the answer to. But I would like to learn something from you. How do you see it? And here it is. Do you believe that an illegal immigrant can come to this country, use the benefits that belong only to the American people, and that they should disrespect this country? Or do you believe they should respect it and not abuse the system? What's your answer, JS? It's not complicated. That's what I mean. You can't debate, bro. If you want to debate, you want to speak facts. The answer is no, it's not correct. But I think as Americans that we are, we should still help them. You see the difference? That's why you cannot debate me. Because you're too stuck on convincing yourself that you have to convince me to agree with you. That's not a debate. A debate is not to convince the other person. A debate is so that we can hear different responses from other people. Bro, like I said, I will eat you alive in public. And I don't mean that with disrespect, but you got to hear the truth. Straight up. Straight up. There is a lot of things that you can ask me that I will agree with you to a point, but I will also give you my point of view. That's a debate. A debate is not to convince somebody they're wrong. That's how I know you don't know how to debate. Anyways, let's see. Josh Cooper says, Dennis isn't even enough to keep up with the chat. Hell no. There's thousands of people chatting in here, man. You crazy? Besides, I said this many times. I am here to give you some time. I'm giving you my free time, okay? I do what I love. I've sat on the silence for many decades. I think it's time for me to speak the truth. And I will speak the truth as long as God allows me to speak it. I will get to the comments as fast as I can. And you notice, thank you, Omar, 100% straight up. See, Omar, he joined my member club. There's only like 5 people in there, I think, so far. But these people, they come in here, they put comments that I miss sometimes. And they don't get mad at me for missing their questions. That's the difference. They don't get mad at me if I miss a comment that they said, because they are here to listen to the truth, and then they can chime in on the truth, or if they disagree with me, they can also say that. Now, they don't demand my attention. And I always say this. If you demand my attention, you better pay for it. I don't see your message. You want to do a chat? It's cheap as a 99-cent chat. It'll pop in there, highlight it, and I can follow it. But if you don't do that, you don't have to. But if you don't do that, don't be demanding nothing from me, because I get nothing from you. All right? That's all I'm saying. So I give you my free time. And I'm going to go ahead and read some of the stuff in here, and I will try and answer as many as I can, but I am nobody's puppet, right? That's all I'm saying. So a lot of my American friends that are in here, like Jason says, make America great, and that's exactly what we're trying to do every day. Cryo Kid says, palabra. Amen. Who created the laws of the USA? Who created the laws of every country? I will tell you this. Nobody that is not a citizen would create laws in this country. Only Americans. You see this right here in reverse? We the people, that means American citizens. That doesn't mean green card holders. That doesn't mean migrants visiting for tourism. That doesn't mean migrants with working visas. That means American citizens. And when our forefathers talk about persons, they use the word persons to include females and males in one word. That's the only reason. Born and bred. That's right. That is the American people, we the people. And then there is the second class of citizens that are naturalized, meaning they are adopted into citizenship. We get the right to vote. That is we the people. The ones that get to vote is we the people. Until you're 18 and you're able to vote, you are not the people. You are a minor or a dependent of an American adult that can vote. Man. Common sense is Cryer Kid. Common sense, my friend. See, that's the American way, man. It's just, I'll tell you something. In Honduras, they teach us to work hard, study hard, and then maybe someday you make some money. In America, they tell you work. They don't tell you work hard. Well, they do now, but they didn't tell you that. But they also taught you to dream, go big, be a business owner, find a trade, get your own money, be your own boss. That's the American dream. See, in other countries, they make you to work hard and do this and do that, but they don't teach you to dream more than that. They don't teach you to be a business owner. And I find that in Honduras, a lot of my friends and family that I have down there and people that live in Honduras, they are not happy enough with just going to school and doing this and that. No, they find a way to make a business. They want to sell cars, or they want to build something, or they want to provide a service, or they want to do something. They have to dream big themselves, but the country, the government doesn't push them that way, right? Here in America, they do, and that's why I love it here, okay? And I hope one day, someday, I'll be able to take some of those skills back with me, maybe to Honduras, and I can help the people down there on behalf of the United States of America. I'm sure they will be proud Americans in this country when I tell them that everything that I have learned has been because of them, and because of that, other countries will also benefit and be blessed by. Okay, there is that. Let's see, what else do we got? Hey, fam, Beta, go back, Beta. Let's see, Tranda, I don't know what that is. Interactive improv says that's not a question. I have no idea what you're talking about. JS. Listen, at least you see my real face. You see my real name. You're incognito behind some fake name. You don't have your own picture on there and you want to debate me. No, you don't get to demand anything unless you give something back. You got to give something to get something. That's all I'm saying. All right, we're going to ignore JS for now. You see my wheel face? Hey, fam, I don't know. Help with the Honduras cocaine trade. We don't have a trade of cocaine in Honduras. But thanks for playing. Parting gifts for you and your friends. Beta. Let's see. This Honduran forget that he came to the USA because they took advantage of his brother-in-law. Do you forget that? You would be working on the fields in Honduras. Leo, I'm glad that you remember my story. And we are blessed. We didn't take advantage of. We call that favor. Favor that anybody can get. And we are blessed. I'm going to tell you something. I was culture shocked for over 10 years when I came here as a minor. I missed my Honduras trees. I missed my weather. My friends kept going. I was in first year of college, 7th grade for Hondurans. It's first year of college for us over there, okay? I had 6 years of school left to graduate from the university. I was an A student. Matter of fact, I was an A student in English. Hey, go figure. I loved English since I was in Honduras. And, there was this what we call a cultural center. What's it called? Cultural Center Institute, I think it was. And because I speak English, I needed to do like a 9-month schooling to get a teacher's permit. And I can make $5,000 a month at this institute. And it's only 5 hours a day because it's a bilingual institute. And so they pay me for speaking Spanish and speaking English. And so there is a lot of people in Honduras that can do the same. And you'd be surprised. There is a lot of Hondurans down there that are learning English. And I would say some of them probably speak better than I do. 100% real. Some of them speak it better than I do. And these people have a big chance. They either come here or they can do something down there. But the point is, they have access to do that. People that are suffering down there are the ones that don't get educated. Unfortunately, most of the time is the people that live up in the mountains, because in the mountains it's very hard to just, go down and do business here or even go to a school here. There is people that are still trying to build schools in Honduras. I get that. So education is a big deal in Honduras. But I can tell you, there's a lot of what we call campesinos. They work the fields. They don't have the big luxury homes or whatever. They have a roof over their heads, very humble houses. Some of them are able to make some money with some of the stuff that they farm, and they're able to make houses with bricks and make it nice and strong. But they feed their families from there. They don't need to go to school because they work the farm. That's how they live. That's how they survive. They're free up in the mountain. But when it comes to money-wise, they are poor. But when it comes to family, they are rich. They have everything that they can ever want. And until they start seeing technology like we see here, they're not missing anything. They are happy, 100%. And, family rate staying together is a lot higher than what we actually have here in the United States of America. And that's a fact, my friend. So I have a lot of Honduran family and friends out there that are very happy being in Honduras. I would be very happy in Honduras. I know hateful people, they just say, go back there and see if it's true. No, it's true. And, I cannot. As a matter of fact, you guys already heard my story probably. If not, I'll tell you again. When I got divorced from my first wife, we had 5 kids already, 2 out of wedlock with a different person, then my 3 with my ex-wife. I was heartbroken because I was cheated on. I didn't know what to do with myself. I was very, suicidal. I didn't want to live. I didn't want to live anymore. And I thought, you know what, if I go back to Honduras, this is the place that I've always wanted to be in, and this is where I belong, and this is why I'm depressed, and this is blah, blah, blah. I went down there. For 34 days, I could not eat. I could not sleep. I would doze off and just wake up. I just wouldn't be able to sleep. One day I was talking with one of my cousins, and I say, you know what, I'm going to go in the room. I'm going to take a nap. And my cousin had left his 9mm loaded on the table, the night table, which I used his room to sleep. And I grabbed the gun, and I was going to take my life. And for some reason, something just said, you know what, just let's do a prayer. And it's like, you might think, wait, this guy wants to take his life. He's not Christian. How is he Christian if he wants to take his life? He's depressed. How is he Christian? I don't know. But you know what? I put the gun down. I started praying. I passed out like I have been drugged, like completely. And I passed out on the bed, right? Oh, man, I woke up. I kid you not. I was so relieved. Like, I don't know. I felt I can breathe again. There's no knot in my throat anymore. There's no pain in my chest. I can breathe. And I get up, and I was like, hey, Prima, cuz, where are you? And she was not upstairs where we were talking just a few minutes ago, according to me. And then I walked downstairs, and she's on her pajamas, her morning pajamas. And she's like, oh my God, cuz, where you been? Oh my God, I looked everywhere. Of course, she didn't look in the room because she thought her son was in there, but it was me. She says, I looked everywhere for you. Where have you been? I was like, man, don't be so dramatic. It's been like 15 minutes. She says, I haven't seen you since yesterday when we were talking upstairs. And that's when I realized all those days that I wasn't able to sleep, for the first time in a very long time, my mind was clear. My heart didn't hurt no more. I can swallow. I can eat. And I told my cousin, I said, I would like to let you have my land just for one plane ticket to the United States of America. And she goes, what? No, are you crazy? That's your land. I said, don't matter. I want you to have it. I need one plane ticket to go back to the States because I got to pay child support for my kids, even if I'm not going to be with them. And so she made a deal. She's like, you know what? No, you can go ahead and pay it back to me. And I said, no. I want you to have it. Why? Because I knew that I was not coming back for a very long time. Obviously, I would have made a different decision, right? But I came back. 22 and a half years paying child support. I don't regret it. Of course, I could have stayed in Honduras. I don't have to pay child support, whatever. It doesn't matter, right? But something told me to come back. And after 22 years here, I am telling you this story because you need to know, apparently, somebody needs to know the story. And I feel so blessed to be here. And I promise you, when it's my turn to go back to Honduras, if that's God's will, I will. And the two last ones that I have here with my wife of being married for 14 years, the two last ones that we have together, if I go to Honduras, they are going with me. And that's a blessing. All my kids are grown up. My oldest kid is 30 years old almost. So there is that. So if you want to talk about my life, there you go. You don't have to worry about it. As I said, I am not worthy of having God's love. I have been divorced once already. I had kids out of wedlock. I made some mistakes. That is my past. And believe me, that past came up a lot when I was a pastor. And the devil just wouldn't let me have it. They would just keep bringing the past over and over, trying to get me out of church. So there's that. I have been redeemed, and I am very grateful for God's grace on my life. With that being said, that is a good man, but Trump still ain't it. If I judge Trump in the way that you're judging him, and you are judging him in the way that you are judging him, that means that when you repent and you change your life, you will never, ever be forgiven. And therefore, you are cursing yourself to hell. I'm telling you right now, when you forgive somebody, it's not for them, it's for yourself. And all of you that believe to be Christians, if you are hating this man because of his past, you are hating yourself. If you don't forgive him, you are not forgiving yourself. And you are the one that's going to pay the consequences for that decision. Hell is not what you've been through in this life. I can tell you that right now. All the atrocities that you may have seen on TV, or maybe all the pain and suffering like I have lived, I can call that hell. Believe me, because the pain that I felt, I didn't want not even my worst enemy to have, because it's a dark, very dark, dark place, and you don't want to be in that place. You believe me that hell is nothing. I mean, our pain here is nothing compared to hell. You may have heard, that this is hell on earth. No, you have no idea. If hell is going to be me feeling that pain for thousands and thousands of years, no, you just can't live that way, my friend. You just can't live that. So my advice to you is you got to forgive. You got to forgive. Rush Babe, not sure is a perfect name for you. Not sure. I missed all these comments over here. Oh, man. But I really want to say, guys, thank you again. You guys got me to 4,000 subscribers today. I know it's Labor Day. To be honest, I thought it was going to be like maybe 2 people today. But God bless you guys. I hope that my story actually helps somebody. I know maybe somebody has gone through something similar, and I know how it feels. I know that it feels like there's no way out. You're drowning, but you can't die. You just feel like you're drowning. You just can't die. And the fact that God didn't allow me to take my own life tells me that he loves me. And that's why I will never, ever try to do that again, ever in my life. Let's see if we get anything. Let's see who we have here. Let's see. All right, let's see. I hate him for his present. That's a good way to put it. And the way he has hurt the people of this country. We don't live to just go to heaven or hell. As Christians, we live to make things better. And Donald J. Trump. Okay, so I'm going to tell you something. So Donald J. Trump fought against transgender. Do you support transgenders? As a Christian, do you support transgenders? Kasky. Ex-Kasky. Do you support transgenders? Not you, Archaic. We're asking the Christian. the Christian. Do you support transgender? Yes, I do support humans. Pat is crazy, brother. I'm glad you haven't. That's not the question. Do you support transgenders? Nothing to do with them being humans. Yes, God does give you the freedom of choice, and you're choosing the devil instead of God. Plenty of eyewitness accounts of the life of Jesus Christ. Yes. Why are you worried about transgender people? You don't get my point, Jamie, so shut it, beta. We don't support delusions. That's one. Live and let live, man. No, Gio. There's a reason why I'm asking, Gio. Don't be a beta. She wants to bring Christianity into this. I want the answer as a Christian. I support American. I get you, Brandy. I get you, but that's not why I'm asking. Do you think we should hate transgender? No, but I think you should tell them the truth. A man is a man and a woman is a woman. A woman cannot be a man and a man cannot be a woman. That's what I want you to do. Tell the truth. Now, go ahead and answer the question. It's not for you guys. It's for Kasky. She supports transgenderism, which is a lie of the devil, but she wants to quote me about Christianity. She wants to quote hate for Donald Trump for what he's doing against the people when he stands against everything that God hates. How is that bad? You're supposed to tell your brother whether they like it or not. It's the truth. If you're a man, you can never be a woman. If you're a woman, you can never be a man. Now, I will tell you this. I love all people. That doesn't mean that I support their lifestyle. When you are gay or lesbian, that's your sexual prerogative. You will be accounted to God. But if I support transgenderism and pedophiles and everything else that is in the LGBTQ alphabet, you're a hypocrite. God calls that an abomination. So if you're going to say something, please don't bring religion into it, because you are an abomination. I'd rather you say you don't believe in God and say that stupid logic. But the moment that you commence yourself as a Christian, you no longer have relevance on judging anybody if you support LGBTQ, because there's no moral grounds for that. There's immorality, sexual perversion, sexual immorality goes against God, and therefore you have no moral grounds to judge a man on anything that he does morally or immorally. That is my point. Does that make sense, Brandy? We all have the freedom to choose. They chose to be transgender, to live a lie, to live in sin. That's their prerogative. I'm not against that. They can do that. But don't bring Christianity into it. When you see those bishop lesbians, they're going to hell. Because the Bible says that it's really bad for you to be sinful, but it will be worse to those who become obstacles that will cause others to also sin because of their leading example. There's a big responsibility that is given to the leads on the church. They are responsible for every single soul that comes to that church. Their message is to give the truth, not lie to them. Not say, oh, you want to be a man? That's okay. You go, girl. You got your rights. No, that's not Christian. Having gays being pastors, that's not Christian. It is not allowed. It's an abomination to God. And it's the truth. Do I love gays? Yes. Do I like to see the nasty shit? No. Keep it in the closet. That's what I'm at. So my point is, don't tell me, Christian, you're not a Christian, but there you're living in sin and you support Satan. You support sexual deprivation. You support sexual immorality. And yet you want to speak Christian. You can't do that. You can't serve two masters because you will hate one and you will love the other. You love the devil. That's not what we preach in Christianity. Man, Corey, that's not hate. If they repent, they're back on God's grace. If they teach people that it's okay and that God loves this, they're putting them to hell because they will never know the truth. And if you don't know the truth, you will never be able to repent. Now, every other gay that's out there listening to me, and you know that God doesn't like it. I know you're a slave to your desires. I get it. But you know that is your choice. You got to choose if you want to live or die that way. Okay? That's all I'm saying. So, Brandy, I hope that makes sense. Do you support against fellow American citizens because they exist on the gender spectrum and they're playing differently from yours? I don't know what the f you mean as spectrum. There is two genders, male and female. That's it. Oh my God, dude, what the hell is wrong with these people? Patricia, I am not God. And you better be glad that I'm not. I would have destroyed every single person in this life that is sinful. I will give you no choice, no choice. You will have no freedom of choosing. That's why God is special. That's why he's great. You don't want me to be God. I am way too bad to be God. The only reason why I control myself from evil is because I surrender to him every day. I let him do what he needs to do. Man. And I know a lot of old folks in here, they know what I'm talking about. That's right. Telling the truth is not judging. I don't understand these people. They will never understand, actually. As a matter of fact, let me tell you how I know that you guys are so evil. Every time that we are actually at a park and we start talking about Jesus, you guys come out and start cussing at us, telling us that you're going to shoot us, that you're going to stab us, to get the hell away from you guys. You guys don't want to hear about love. You don't want to hear about acceptance. You hate Christians. And then you're going to come over here and start talking about Jesus said this. Oh, Christians are supposed to do. Shut up. You guys don't like us talking about God. That's a fact. Whatever. But anyways, we are not talking about just gay people. What I like, Harsky, for you to do is to go check yourself and really read the Bible and make a prayer first so that God can enlighten you. Don't just read what is convenient to you. Don't be a hypocrite. Go read all the Bible so that you may understand why the bad stuff happens and why the good stuff actually happens. With that being said, I want to say thank you guys so much for your likes, for your subscribes, for the support, for the love. Great conversation, good questions, dumb questions, but nonetheless, we had a lot of interaction. I appreciate that. I want to say God bless you, God bless your family, and God bless the USA. Till tomorrow night, guys, you all be safe. Be good.